Hello everyone, this is Moniza. I welcome you all to my class. Today we will be having a look at IS 7, that is International Accounting Standard number 7, Statement of Cash Flows. My dear students, in our lecture regarding IS 1, Presentation of Financial Statements, I told you about the 4 important financial statements required to be prepared by the reporting entity in order to supply information to the users of the financial statements, giving them appropriate support in taking economic decisions. Namely, the set of financial statements consists of SOPL, that is Statement of Profit or Loss, then SOFP, which is Statement of Financial Position, then Statement of Changes in Equity, that is SOCIE, then Statement of Cash Flows, SOCF, and notes to the financial statements which are produced by the entity in order to report the financial position, financial performance, and cash flows of the business to the users of the financial statements. So the purpose of the financial statements is to give the users of the financial statements an information regarding financial position, financial performance, and the cash flows of the reporting entity. In order to fulfill this purpose, different financial statements are being produced. One of the crucial financial statements, that is Statement of Cash Flows, is covered by a separate standard, that is IS 7, which is our today's topic. So let's start our discussion regarding the requirements and guidelines of IS 7 Statement of Cash Flows. In order to understand the purpose of Statement of Cash Flows, we need to understand the difference between profit and cash. My dear students, profit for the year for particular business can be calculated by making SOPL, Statement of Profit or Loss. And we do prepare the statement on accrual basis of accounting, which means that the expenses and incomes will be recorded in the books of accounts on the basis of their occurrence, not on the basis of cash inflow and outflow. In other words, expenses will be recorded in SOPL when they are incurred, not when they are actually paid in the form of cash. And on the other hand, income will be recorded in SOPL when it is earned, not when it is actually received in the form of cash. So when the business seems to be profitable, it doesn't mean that it is actually having enough cash to survive. In order to pay debts or any kind of liabilities, business needs liquid assets. Cash is the survival of business. Just consider an example to understand this important point. Suppose a business is having a large amount of sales, but most of its sales are on credit basis. While following accrual basis of accounting, we will show all these credit sales in SOPL to generate a figure of profit or loss for the year. And due to high volume of sales, a high amount of profit can be seen from profit or loss statement. But what about cash? Business wouldn't be having any cash to repay its liabilities or to purchase any assets to run the business successfully in the future. So for this primary reason, for this basic reason, it is important that the users of the financial statements can assess the cash position of the business entity at the end of the year. They must have a right also to know that how cash has been generated and used by the business entity during an accounting period. My dear students, IS 7 Statement of Cash Flows does require two basic things from us. Those two basic requirements can said to be as the objectives of IAS 7. The objective of IAS 7 is to ensure that business entities report their cash generation and cash absorption for a period by highlighting significant components of the cash flows. And it should be done in such a way that facilitates a comparison of cash flow performance of different businesses. Then, a second objective of IAS 7 is to ensure that business entities must provide information that assist in the assessment of the liquidity, solvency, and financial adaptability of the business. The business entities must be providing the information regarding the liquidity of the business. For example, whether the business is having enough cash to meet its long-term and short-term obligations or not. Then, whether a business is having enough cash to purchase any kind of non-current assets in order to use them to run the business successfully. Then financial adaptability must also be considered. We do have to provide the information regarding the financial adaptability of the business to the users of the financial statements. For example, whether the business is having enough liquid asset to adapt its business in any kind of unexpected situations or circumstances. So there are two objectives of IAS 7 which we do need to fulfill. Number one is to report the cash generation and cash absorption of the reporting entity. Then an information regarding the liquidity, solvency, and financial adaptability of the businesses must have to be reported. To fulfill this objective, we do need to prepare a statement of cash flows in a recommended way by IAS 7. Some of the management theorists do comment on some of the drawbacks of statement of cash flows as well, regarding its historic nature and the lack of interpretation. But please keep this thing in your minds that the benefits of the statement of cash flows are always more than its drawbacks. The basic objective which you need to follow is that the users of the financial statements have a right to know about the cash flows of the business in order to make effective economic decisions. So that is why it is necessary to prepare the statement of cash flows as per the requirements of IAS 7. IAS 7 requires the business entities to prepare a statement of cash flow as a part of their annual financial statements. If you do remember, during our discussion of IAS 1, I have told you that IAS 1 presentation of the financial statements does not prescribe any specific format for the financial statements, but it guides us about the minimum items which must be presented in the financial statements. This given format can be adopted by the reporting entities to produce statement of cash flows. I have taken this format from Kaplan Publishing ACCA FA book. As you can see, that statement of cash flows of an organization is divided into three important components, namely cash flow from operating activities, cash flow from investing activities, and cash flows from financing activities. Let us have a look on all these items of statement of cash flows one by one. First of all, we will be having a look at cash flows from operating activities. My dear students, operating activities are the principal revenue producing activities of the entity. For example, if there is a shoe trading business, then all the revenue generated by selling shoes will be considered under this head. You need to consider that net cash from operating activities can be calculated using two methods: direct method or indirect method, which will be discussed later in the lecture. Cash flows from operating activities may include interest paid and income taxes paid. We can calculate these figures with reference to the charge of profit for the item shown in statement of profit or loss and closing payable balance shown in the statement of financial position. Like as you can see from this T account, I have taken this T account from ACCA FA Kaplan Publishing book. This T account is provided on page number 360 of that book. This is a basic T account which you can maintain in order to calculate the figure for income tax paid or the interest paid for the reporting period. Opening and closing balances are being used. Profit or loss charge is being used in order to generate the figure of cash paid in regards to the interest or tax for the particular year. Now, my dear students, the second component of statement of cash flows is cash flow from investing activities. Investing activities are cash spent on non-current assets, proceeds of sales of non-current assets, and income from investments, that is, interest received, for example, or dividend received. Please don't be confused with interest received and dividend received with interest paid and dividend paid. These are incomes, not the expenses for the business. Interest received and dividend received is an income for the business, while interest paid and dividend paid are expenses of the business. So basically, interest received and dividend received has to be mentioned in cash flows from investing activities. After generating the net cash flows from investing activities, we have to move on to the third component of statement of cash flows, that is cash flows from financing activities. Financing activities include proceeds of shares, basically proceeds of issue of shares, and long-term borrowings made or paid. Then net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents can be derived by adding the cash flow from all the three cash flow activities. We do have to add up the values which we have generated from cash flows from financing activities, cash flows from investing activities, and cash flows from operating activities. We have added these figures in order to generate an amount of net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents. My dear students, cash is defined as a cash in hand and bank current account, including overdrafts. And cash equivalents are current asset investments. Now, in this value, cash and cash equivalents at the beginning of the period, which we can take actually from the opening balance sheet. So in this value, cash and cash equivalents at the beginning of the period will be added to extract the amount of cash and cash equivalents at the end of the period. This cash and cash equivalents figure at the end of the period is going to be taken to the statement of financial position, we have to show this figure in our current assets, in current reporting periods, statement of financial position. Now, students, as I've told you people that cash flows from the operating activities can be derived from using two different methods. We can generate this figure by adopting any of these methods. Either we can use direct method in order to extract this figure, or the standard does allow us to use indirect method to extract this figure. If we do talk about the direct method, it provides more detailed information. And it is based upon the cash flow information which is extracted directly from the accounting records. We have to take information from the accounting records directly in order to extract the figure. But this method is not popular among most of the organizations because of its confidentiality issues, as this method discloses information that would otherwise remain confidential. That is why most of the organizations do not prefer this method to be used. Indirect method. Indirect method can also be used in order to derive a figure of cash flow from operating activities. Indirect method of presenting cash flows from operating activities relies upon the information that is disclosed in the financial statements. We will be using the information which is provided in, which is disclosed in the financial statements. Or it can be calculated from the information which is disclosed in the financial statements. The starting point for the indirect method is normally profit before tax, which we can easily see from the statement of profit or loss. So the starting point is normally profit before tax, which is then adjusted to remove any non-cash items or accrual-based figures included in the statement of profit or loss. For example, there is a depreciation which is present in statement of profit or loss, which is a non-cash item. We have to add it back when we will be using an indirect method. Then, if there is a loss on disposal of non-current assets, it is again a non-cash expense. It has to be added back to profit before tax. If, for example, there is an interest payable expense, it will be added back to profit before tax because it is not a part of cash generated from operations. The cash payment regarding interest, we have to deduct in the first component of statement of changes, statement of cash flows. Then increase or decrease in inventory has to be adjusted. And same is the case with increase or decrease in trade receivables and increase or decrease in trade payables. This is a formal, this is a basic format which can be adopted for indirect method. We can calculate the figure of cash flow generated from operations by using this basic format. We will be starting our calculations from profit before tax. We can take this figure straight away from the statement of profit or loss. Then in that figure, we have to add the finance charge as per profit or loss statement. If, for example, there is any investment income presented in statement of profit or loss, we have to deduct it. If there is a depreciation, we have to add it. Loss on disposal of plant has to be added. If the inventory has decreased from the previous year, for example, the opening figure for inventory is more than the closing figure of inventory, we have to add it. And if there is a decrease in trade receivables, we have to add it. But if there is an increase, obviously we have to deduct it. If the trade payables have decreased, the opening figure of the trade payables, the last year figure for the trade payables, if for example is more than the current year, it means that the decrease in trade payables can be observed. The decrease in trade payables have to be deducted. This is an opposite treatment as regards to the trade receivables. After doing all of these steps, we can generate a figure of cash flow from operations. And then this figure, cash flow generated from operations, this, which is underlined here, cash generated from operations. From this figure, we will be deducting an amount of interest paid and income taxes paid in order to generate a figure of net cash flow from operating activities. So my dear students, this is all regarding IAS 7 statement of cash flows. For practice questions regarding IAS, all of the international accounting standards, please follow the updated videos on my channel. And if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. You can mention your questions in the comment box. This is all for today. I hope you have understood well. Thank you so much.